We have all been there. That moment where we see something we might not like. We may see someone through the lens of disapproval. We may criticize their tone of voice, what they're wearing, what they believe in, what they're saying, who they are. In this video, we are looking at the shadow of criticism and how this shadow aspect can be your greatest ally for returning to wholeness, truth, and self-acceptance. And if you're looking to understand patterns such as this, join me over at the Shadow Project, where there are libraries of working modules, meditations, deep shadow work, and more. The link is in the description area below for the Shadow Project, and I hope to see you there. Similar to a previous video that I uploaded touching on jealousy, the word criticism derives from the word kritikos, which is to discern or to judge. Criticism in its higher polarity allows us to do just that. Allows for critical thinking, allows for us to be discerning and to have maybe a very laser-focused eagle eye on aspects of life. However, easily flipped into the shadow, if we have areas within ourselves that are not complete, that are not whole, that we have not acknowledged, we can tilt this into the shadow aspect of criticism, where we are being hard on one another, where we are acting impulsively towards one another, when we judge or criticize sharply as a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. The true origin of the shadow has been developed when an individual feels incomplete within themselves, when they haven't been able to accept their whole self. Criticism develops in the psyche when there has been an absence of unconditional safety and approval of one's authentic self, when love or worth was dependent on performance, compliance, or perfection. The child learns, if I can anticipate what's wrong, maybe I'll stay safe. The inner critic forms as both a shield and a sword, defending against rejection, while simultaneously inflicting it. So criticism is not the presence of hatred, rather the absence of self-acceptance. When we explore the relationship with our true, authentic self, there's incredible power in that relationship. However, because of our formative experiences, our true, authentic self has become buried. We become guarded, protected, and even as a form of safety, we reject parts of ourselves. We end up turning that rejection into the outer world, where we end up rejecting the world by looking at the faults around us. We look at the faults with people, we look at the faults with the world, and we look at the faults, of course, within ourselves. This exercise we are exploring here is not to be hard on ourselves, blame ourselves, or even blame our past. We're in a pivotal time right now where we can break patterns by simply looking within, by observing these patterns that we have within ourselves, especially with this one, of criticism, but going one layer deeper into the exploration of self. Criticism is the wound of never feeling truly enough, the ache of scanning for flaws to avoid punishment or disapproval. Through the shadow lens, we can see that the shadow beneath criticism is not simply judgment, but the fear of being judged, rejected, or unseen as good or worthy. The light side of criticism is discernment, awareness, and the ability to refine, improve, and evolve. The distorted expression within the shadow emerges when discernment is fueled by fear, when improvement becomes self-punishment, and awareness becomes surveillance. When criticism is present, it is pointing to a deep-seated belief that safety comes from control and that love must be earned through flawlessness. Referring to the work also of Dr. Michael Lincoln, Messages from the Body, he states that criticism occurs when the self is clamping down on control. It is fueled by fear, but it does show up in the body as stiffness, stiff joints, stiff posture, even stiff muscles. When we are gripped by fear within ourselves, we tend to clamp down. It's a very constricted, restricted aspect of functioning where we are holding on, embracing for impact in a way, or we are wanting to control what feels safe. But what we're actually doing, in fact, is restricting the flow of life. If you catch yourself in the pattern of criticism, which, by the way, is very, very common, simply catch yourself and observe what is happening within your body. Are you holding on tightly? Do you feel your body tensing up? Do you have stiff joints or stiff areas within your body? What is your body trying to tell you in that very moment? And what is that pattern trying to signal to you of something that might be incomplete or missing within yourself? Think of the contrast of criticism, what it would feel like to live fully accepting your whole self, loving every part of your body, being at peace with who you are, accepting reality and the truth that it is, not based on the illusions or the false realities, the wounds of the world, but being in your truth. Also accepting who you truly are, your authentic truth, your authentic self, how that feels on all levels. And when you arrive there, you will not see the flaws in the world because you will not see the flaws within yourself. You will have accepted yourself fully and wholly, therefore seeing the world through an equal lens. The false beliefs hidden within the shadow of criticism will be, if I criticize myself first, no one else can hurt me. This is a defense against external rejection, born from conditional approval in childhood. If I don't get it right, I will lose love, respect, or belonging. This was developed when the inner child equated perfection with safety and love. Others are a reflection of my worth, and if they are wrong, I am safe. This is when projected criticism becomes a way to regulate one's own insecurity. The other is, I must be in control to be secure. This comes from a belief that chaos or imperfection equals danger. And if I relax, I'll be exposed or fail. There is a fear that rest equals vulnerability, and vulnerability equals loss. One of the true challenges to break this pattern and to dissolve the shadow relationship with criticism is trusting something different, trusting the opposite or the contrast of control, trusting something that maybe you haven't felt before, something of light, something of full acceptance, something transcendent. Now, the way through to this relationship is going to be through the shadow and understanding what happened in the first place to create this pattern and belief. And most importantly, where self-rejection first originated and how self-rejection translates into many areas of your life. Criticism is one of the most powerful mirroring effects that we can catch ourselves in. As soon as we look at something as flawed, as bad, as wrong, as evil, as not right, as imperfect, that is the optimal time to catch that pattern, realizing that what you are externalizing is reflecting something that hasn't been seen yet within yourself. So in that very moment, simply catch it, observe. Awareness is going to be your way through. Observe what this might be teaching you about something about yourself, about trying to be perfect, worrying what other people are going to say, feeling like you're not good enough. When criticism shows up, whether it's coming from someone else or within your mind, it's revealing the parts of you that still seek safety through control and validation. The external critic often mirrors your internal critic and what you may dislike most within yourself. But here's the truth. Criticism originated as a method of self-protection and safety. It was an attempt to secure belonging in an environment where love was conditional. So when criticism arises, it's simply showing you where you are seeking safety in control and how you can open up a little bit more to allow for more trust, more fluidity, and self-acceptance. And if you would like to go deeper into shadow work to reclaim wholeness and self-acceptance, make sure to join me over at the Shadow Project. The link is in the description area below. And I'm wishing you all the best on your journey of self. Until next time, take care.